Hello there, comrades and finites. Unfortunately, while recording this episode on technology, our camera died. Ironic, I know. But have no fear. You can listen to this episode in its entirety on your favorite app of which you listen to podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or many more. So head on over if you want to catch the end of this episode and listen to the Calm Down, It's Fine podcast.
Oh, it's an Apple thing?
You would probably benefit from that.
There has to be a version of it that you would be able to use.
My thing is I'm like so OCD. I hate.
The problem, thing about this is it's meant to be just like, so you don't have to worry about.
Right, you're just supposed to throw ideas.
Yes. It's like, I couldn't use the. This is good. This is good.
Yeah,
it's called.
Oh, okay.
That's technology.
It's called Freeform? Purple? It's like a purple box.
Yep. Do you have that?
Very convenient.
Because if I download it right now, I'm not going to be able to do anything during the podcast. So I'm going to wait till afterwards.
Why?
Because then I won't be able to look up the other things you're trying to look up later on the episode.
He's going to want to play with it.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Thanks, bud.
We vetted you.
Pleasure to be here.
When you clicked on, a notification came to our phone, and we said, we'll let them listen. So you're of a select few.
Amen.
Just like John Calvin would teach. Just foolishness. Anyways, enjoy this episode of the Calm Down, It's Fine podcast. Yes, David's here. Yes, Harrison's here. Yes, Dustin's here. Yes, the possums are here. And we're ready to roll. Jimmy. Episode, what is this? 34? 5? 35?
127. What?
Of the Calm Down, It's Fine
That is
podcast.
Jerry.
Do your iPads in front of the on-air sign.
Watch out. There you go. Fellas.
I'm a fellow.
What up, dogs?
What up, G?
Fellow possums.
Yo. Comrades.
We were just talking about taking notes. I think it'd be good to talk about. As far as Bible notes. How do you guys take your Bible notes? How do you do your Bible reading thing? Do you do a Bible reading schedule? Do you do a
I don't.
through the Bible in a year?
I just don't.
You don't?
No.
I'm a hard no. I say hard pass.
No. When I preach, I get up and I'll wing it.
I'll wing it. So Dustin was showing
In
me.
Jesus' name.
Dustin was showing me a few weeks ago about Freeform, and it's a new app update on our iPhones, on your whatever. But yeah, you can. It's basically like a corkboard, and you can take notes on it, and it's like they've got a whole bunch of like different patterns, shapes you can write in, and a whole bunch. I mean, just literally like objects, animal. Like there's a ton of things.
Right.
It's basically just an easy way to take notes. You don't have to think about it. It's supposed to be sort of. I don't know if you can zoom in.
It's like brainstorming.
Yeah, it's like brainstorming stuff. It's like you have an idea, stick it up on the board, and you basically just zoom out and you have all your thoughts. But anyways,
it definitely looks interesting.
yeah, I like it. I didn't take notes yesterday, and I didn't take notes today. But the 30th. Well, this is when this episode comes out. These notes or whatever. But yeah, it's very neat. And I have a notebook where I read and will write stuff down in the notebook, but I'm so scatterbrained. I always that never ends up being where I'm at when I have a note or whatever. So this has been
That's why this
helpful.
works for me. Like, I mean, I am structured in some areas, but as far as like
some, but then in others.
Yeah, it's just like, so reading the Bible, like I have like just ran like going through 2 Kings, like it's like every single chapter almost, it says like when it says that God honors, you know, whatever king, even if he's not doing right, but he says he honored him anyway for David thy servant's sake. And I keep like over and over and over again, like this thoughts. Like I'm like, man, if I had a sticky note, I could just flame. But like, I'll lose it. Here, you can do sticky notes. So that's like going through 2 Kings. That's like the big sticky note I put up was like for David, thy servant's sake. So like, you know, it's just it works better for the way I think.
I understand the convenience of having like an app like that, especially like I know a lot of preachers use like iPads and stuff now when they preach, and like I'm for it. Like it's so convenient to have all of your messages in like one spot, and you can just however I like something about the
pen and paper.
Pen and paper.
Yes.
So I have like on my bookshelves in my office at home, I just have so many notebooks.
Yeah.
Like some I haven't even started writing in yet, but I like notebooks, like different shapes, sizes, different types
There's
of paper.
something about creative flow when you have a pen
Yes.
and paper. What I do, I go through phases. I have
Don't
three.
we all, Cam? Don't we all?
Three phases. I'm like in a journey in a season. I'm like,
It's, go where your heart tells you, Cam.
I have three
Go off.
notebooks that
Tell
are
us.
filled with messages. But then I also have on my phone notes
These are-
or whatever
these are mine, yeah.
Okay.
from
I
years,
moved them.
like probably back to 2015,
I
2014.
know.
I have actual messages written on there where I'll go through a time where I'm like 3 or 4 messages I'll write on my phone. But then what I do is I print them off. So I'll have them in hard copy.
Right.
But I also have them on my phone. When I've preached a couple times on an iPad. And I'm
I
sure
would be afraid of losing spot.
if that's what happened with me. You have to use Pages for me. Because Pages is everything's on one page and then you slide it over. That's your next page.
Okay.
What I ended up doing was using notes,
I'm scrolling.
scrolling, and I had no stop point. So I was like up there and I'm trying to scroll without looking, whereas paper you can just go
Right.
or notepad. So I ended up scrolling and I'm like, don't know where I'm at.
I've used an app
Really
to
hindered the
preach out
spirit.
of before.
Yeah.
And it works. So one of the things that I do, and I'll do it for either a piece of paper or on an app, I'll highlight like a specific part, like the next point.
Yeah.
So if I'm preaching, I look down. All I have to do is I have to run through the highlighted spots and be like, that's where I'm at, and then I pick up from there. But I have a funny story about preaching on an iPad. So Michael Shane and I took the teens to this youth rally, and it was a Friday, Saturday youth rally, and so we get there Friday, and they had like signups, like registration at the door, and I was like, okay. So we get there, the teenagers are all writing their names down and their info, whatever. I put my info in because I was like, well, it's just for the teenagers, right? And they were like, no, we want everybody. I was like, okay. So I put my name and stuff in there.
Numbers.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
So
You
and I
look
don't
awful, Harry.
think about it.
What?
You need to take the hood off.
What are you talking about?
So ghetto, dude. You're stupid.
Whatever.
Yeah, dude.
Ruth just said thanks, Kale.
David's hat out of the way. Whatever.
Tell me how you feel. Whoa, look at
What?
that.
There we go. H&R.
H&R
Get your
block.
taxes done.
H&R
it.
Or get a really nice
Oh, and
slug
look
gun.
at it's got the date.
That's the date.
XXXX. Wow. A lot of X's there.
So
That's it.
It's the date.
That's it.
so
Is that what that is?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Roman.
Back to the story.
Numerals.
Is that what from when you guys started dating?
It's like
I had no idea.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
so
It says 2023.
so we go there
Does
Friday.
it actually say H&R somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
here on his sleeve.
Hannah and Ruth. I mean, Harrison and Ruth.
Stupid.
So
What do you say?
said Hannah and Ruth.
Good recovery.
Cameron, I think we need to have a chat.
So
Well-
anyway, back to the story. So we go there Friday. We sign up. We do all the registration
This
stuff.
really means Heather. It's mom.
Yeah.
We go through this.
My mom's approved, so
Yeah.
Sorry, David.
BFF.
the women of my life, Heather and Ruth.
We go through the two biggest
I'm trying to find it. Oh,
what's that? Oh, all right. So we go through the service, and I don't think anything of the registration anymore after that point. So Saturday comes around, and Michael Shane goes to take the teens back to the meeting. I do not go because it is me and my wife's anniversary.
Good for you. You made the right choice.
Yeah. So I go, hey, nope, we're having a date night. You guys go ahead. Boop, boop. So they go, they leave, and that Saturday, we need to get rid of the possums. We need pest control in here.
I told you I knew what I was doing.
So, oh, that would be dope. Nope. So, they go to the meeting, and Michael Shane does not tell me, but in the service, they go, all right, we're going to raffle off this iPad. We're
What?
gonna pick a name.
No.
They pick a name, and the name is David Neath.
That's you.
That is you.
And
That's him.
And here's what Michael Shane did.
You get a Twix.
Michael Shane goes, "Oh, that's me," and he gets up and he takes the iPad that was mine.
Make that face to the camera.
Dude, he takes the iPad, goes, "Thank you," and then he goes and he sits down, and then he just has the iPad, and then he texts me while I'm on a date with my wife, and he goes, "Hey man, you want an iPad? I took it," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, they raffled off an iPad. You weren't there, so I took it," and I go, "Do it to give to me?" He goes, "I took it." And then he just used it. It was his
that's
iPad
when he
after
moved
that.
to Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
got
just
him
his
back,
iPad.
Dude. That's like.
Now I know why you trashed his car so
Yeah,
much.
that was
Who
really-
did?
I know why you wanted to.
It was
That's
extra.
great. No, so yeah, it's really convenient. And on this, obviously, I like reading out of my Bible,
Yes.
Amen.
But-
as all Christians should.
That's all.
but reading on the
Would
iPad
recommend.
sometimes is convenient because your notes are right here, and everything's like logged here because you can do split screen, have your notes,
Yep.
Bible. And it's just and obviously you can do the same thing with a Bible and pen and paper, whatever. But yeah, no, it's convenient. What do you do? Do you
Pen and
preach?
paper.
Do you preach, Paul?
I do junior church.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Dusty Pants?
I do whenever you're not there. For the youths.
I do sermon audio.
I do
I
sermon audio.
Try to voice it.
Google.
I do sermon audio. But it's just me. I'm not a part of a church. I'm just saying, just talking in the
How
mirror.
did he push him all the way?
Wow.
Dude, I
We're
buy
really-
quality racing possums, bro.
It's like a little tango.
Wow. The possum hit the other possum and drove the possum.
We need to take
Oh.
the possums away from Cam.
They
So,
are-
TRT.
that I'm probably after this podcast, I'm probably gonna look into that. I have an Android, so we'll see
Yeah.
if.
I'll have to update my phone for that.
But it looks very convenient and useful,
It is nice. That.
Yeah, I
I'll
like it.
probably use it once and then never use it again.
and then go right back to a notebook. Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's really convenient. And then I'll look up like 6 months later, like, oh, wow, that's a really nice note. Where was I trying to go with that?
Yeah,
don't know.
I have like a ton of notebooks. I have little ones that like fit my pocket. That way, if we're in service and somebody says something, I can just jot it down, put it away.
Yeah.
But then I also have like if we go to Barnes and Noble,
Mhm.
I always just go straight
Buy
to
a
like the
notebook.
notebook
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
I have so many notebooks.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my mind
yes.
is so OCD that I'm like, if I like mess this up, then it's permanent.
Yeah.
They have the note taker's Bible.
like
Church
the-
Oh
publisher.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Dude, I don't have that Bible for the reason of I would be so stressed
Mhm.
with.
to fill in that extra page with the note, but it'd be wrong. Which Brother Mike, my father-in-law, always says use a pencil, which I do when I have one,
Right.
but when I lose it, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife's got like this Bible she got off of Etsy. It's
KJV.
yep.
Amen.
new.
Amen.
And no, and she found this girl on Etsy that like paints canvas Bibles.
Mhm.
So it's like a canvas Bible, and then she told her what she wanted on it, and the girl like painted it out and then mailed it to her. And the inside
I
is
think she could do Dice of Death.
There's a guy on,
On
the
the-
Buffalo Bills right now. He's playing on the field.
you're getting a lot of text messages.
One of the Bills is being given CPR on the field, made a tackle, and dropped 9 minutes. They've been giving him CPR on the field.
Ooh,
Currently? They
Currently.
stopped the game and everything?
Monday Night Football? Is it Monday?
Wow.
current
Today?
events.
It's crazy.
I know.
This week on current events.
That's it.
I'm going to look that
I
up.
forget what I was saying.
Lord,
Sorry.
please help him. If he's not saved, please save him.
Amen.
I pray that you'd bring him back to life if he's not saved. And if he is, let him go.
I mean, maybe
Mm.
give him extra time to, glorify God for giving me a second chance.
I'd like to thank the Lord. Let me try to find this. That's really
I
rough.
eat everything you put here.
So,
I'm so happy. I like the system. Of
Oh,
it.
Yeah, it's
So my wife's Bible
administering
in the margins.
CPR is trending.
and the margins.
It's got all the
got
yeah.
lines.
mhm.
So she takes notes elsewhere, but if like a preacher says something that pertains
Yeah.
to a scripture, and she wants to write down that specific quote, she'll write down the quote, what the preacher said, with the date.
Yeah.
So like if you flip through her Bible, there's like certain passages that she's got underlined or highlighted.
Yeah.
And then it's got like something that like a preacher said. It's,
Right.
it's really nice
That's
the way
nice.
she does it.
That I've thought about that 100. So like I am also very sentimental. So like my Bible, like I don't see a point in ever replacing it with another one. I don't care how fallen apart it gets.
I used to be that way, and then my Bible got really fallen apart.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, it's time. It's time.
So like, 'cause I thought, I'm like, man, it'd be really nice to get like, you know, one of the note taking ones where it's got the big margins, you know, like the song says.
So this is
It's playing out loud.
is this
now
live?
being transferred to a stretcher, is that?
Yeah, but they're giving him CPR.
Oh, yeah, they got like an ambulance on the field and everything.
Oh Lord, that's awful.
What's his name?
Hammond Island.
DeMar Hammond.
DeMar Hammond. He's the #1 trending thing on Twitter right now. It's Bills, Bengals,
So
Hamlin
did he
administering CPR for 9.
Did he get hit or
Well,
did he just
He
fall?
made a tackle, I think.
Yeah,
He
the thing is,
he
you want
stands
to.
up and then falls on his face or on his back.
The thing is, like, you want to keep administering CPR until like paramedics arrive.
The next most
Well, there's an
hashtag.
ambulance on the field in that
The
video.
next
Right.
most
So, well, you don't want to like stop doing compressions until
I mean,
medical
who was
professionals
the
get
one
there.
that said he's not breathing? Like,
Well,
Then-
I think falling down.
no, I mean, but usually it's you think head injury. You know, it's like,
Oh, there's the hit right there.
yeah, that's right.
yeah, you know,
Go back. Oh, all the way. All the way. Boom.
He laid a good one on him.
Oh,
Yeah,
not.
it hit his chest. It looked like something.
Mm-hmm. And then. Boop.
Oh Lord, I
It's,
pray he's saved. I pray he doesn't die.
the
Not
next.
what any of us want to see, and everybody's around him, and just hope that he's going to
He got up pretty quick.
Yeah, he got up quick and then hit it.
Mm-hmm.
The next most hashtag thing on Twitter is HNR. Love.
Oh, it was that. But
Anyways.
our church has like offering envelopes, which if you're listening, please tithe to your local church. Amen. But our offering envelopes make convenient, like they're like slightly like the size
Should
of
mute
two Post-it notes like on top of each other, so like, they make the perfect like thing to write notes on. So I have a whole
So everybody thinks you're tithing.
yeah, no, not a shot. Not the way I'll rob God. But I like my desk has a drawer where it's literally like hundreds of offering envelopes
That's funny.
that are just written down.
People are like, man, Harrison's keeping this
Yeah.
church afloat.
Yeah. They're like, man, we have all this money for the budget of like offering envelopes. Where's the offering?
I can do a
Like,
shared one on Freeform, a shared bulletin board.
So we could all
can-
collaborate
Oh,
on
just
it. Yeah.
throw stuff
what if you
up.
send somebody one that doesn't have it yet? Try it.
Tell them to grow up
Episode.
and move into
If
the
you send it to
21st
me
century.
now, what would happen if I don't have the update?
You
That's
would
it's an interesting app, though.
You would
Well,
look
no, but I don't want, I'm
stupid.
about to update it, so then I would know.
Yeah, but
now-
There's a lot of.
no, I mean, I feel like
I wouldn't
it would
have
be
this
li-
other experience. This would be the only day where I would know what happens if I get sent a free
right.
form.
I think
without
because
having
it would be
freeform
Apple
download.
communicating with Apple that it would be like
Send
it
it to
would,
me, coward.
I don't.
Howard shared.
I thought he would make the one.
No shared boards.
You want to be part of my devotions in the morning? I'll send you that one. You can add stuff in there, like just random stuff.
Why
Just
don't
gonna-
I just see what happens if you share? Like, send that to me. Like that little up.
What I used to do is so my phone, the phone I had before I got this phone, I had the Galaxy Note,
It's being weird.
and I know that
It says it's not synced yet. I don't know what that means.
I know that Ed Schweitzer did the same,
Mhm.
had the same phone. If your screen was locked and you pulled the stylus out,
Mm-hmm.
the locked screen would automatically go to like a note. So the screen would be black like it was still locked, but if you pulled the stylus out, you can write on your locked screen and then take a note. And then it would, when you put the stylus back in, it would automatically save it to your notes on your phone.
Huh. That's
So
pretty cool.
yeah, so it was one of those things. It was like, it seemed like it was really gimmicky, and then I
Yeah.
used it all of the time. And I was like, actually, this is really convenient and awesome.
I need to get a stylus for this iPad. I think that would be helpful. See if you guys got that. See what happens there.
Got it.
But
I got it. I know what I'm doing.
Just get free form.
No, I know what I'm doing.
Are you on? What's it say on
It
yours?
says open untitled. Calm down, it's
says-
fine.
Now, are you on that forever? Like, can you?
Yeah.
Can you?
Stuck now.
Yeah, his first guy.
Yeah, Dustin's definitely on there. Dustin's definitely on there.
That's my favorite word.
Oh, you're so stupid. All right.
It says Mackenzie. It's great. It's cute.
Anyways,
That's what it says.
Cute.
Why did I say
That's
that?
what.
did you
it
get anything,
says.
David?
I got a
It says-
link to. It says shared boards are only available in freeform. However, I don't have it downloaded. So
Download it.
It says I have to download
Silly.
freeform. It says requires 16.2 or
Yeah,
or
you have
later.
to get the new update.
Yeah.
it looks like I might need to have an iPhone.
Really?
Yeah,
Try it.
No,
Try
try it.
harder.
we'll try it later.
All right,
figure
so
it
we'll
out
have to. You got to buy a new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Call Michael.
just buy an
Say,
iPhone.
Michael, I need my iPad.
Yeah, if we get more people donating $4.99 a month, I'll use that money to buy an iPad.
Oh yeah, it is that time. All right, everyone. If you want to donate $1 a month, you can do that on at the end of all of
Don't
our
get carried away. It's 99
Do
cents.
we need a button that has like
99
Sarah
cents,
McLachlan?
$4.99. What's it? $9.99.
$9.99.
Yeah. So you have three options. You can donate. You can help us further sustain future episodes, as they say on there. Anchor. It literally, if you go into any podcast description, you can go under there and you can see like it says donate or support. All right. So you can go on. You can support. We would appreciate that. It'd be awesome. If you want a t-shirt, go to Calm Down, It's Fine. My bad. Go to cdifmerch.com, get your t-shirts.
Give us all your money.
And they're nice t-shirts. They're
Make us
well
rich.
made. They're very good
Amen.
quality.
Amen.
The
And,
more money you
And
give
if you want a
us-
hoodie, send in an email with your size. And
When we get a
once
certain amount,
once we get a certain number of requests, we will put it in order to
we'll
get
make
some more
new
made.
ones. When we make hats, we'll do that the same way because hats are more expensive. As far as everything else, hey, go give us we have a good amount of
Listeners.
ratings on Apple Podcasts through
Mhm.
Spotify, Apple, and that needs to go up a little more. It's been sitting stagnant, and that's just because people are listening; they're just not doing it, whatever. But if you haven't liked our page, liked our podcast, subscribed, go subscribe on YouTube. Go to Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating. Give us a rating, and that's great. I've looked at a lot of podcasts. We have a lot more ratings than a lot of podcasts that are bigger
Take
than
that.
us. So it's cool.
And it's because
But
of you
Call them
guys.
out.
We've just been stagnant for a little bit, but let's get back on the train. Hey, share the podcast with somebody.
You know what
Share it
makes
with your
a
friends, share it with
really
your family.
good Late. Oh, I missed Christmas. Let me send you something. A link to the Calm Down It's Fine podcast.
Yeah.
Do
Boom.
it. Happy
So-
holidays.
and it's free.
cdifmerch.com.
Yes.
Unless
Also,
you pay $4.99.
if you have anything you want to contribute to the podcast, thoughts, comments, concerns, prayers, go ahead and send those in, and we will make fun of you.
Except the prayers.
unless it's a really bad
So-
prayer.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let
My wife's about to walk in with the dogs.
Oh,
Happy
she's gonna go.
birthday.
She's
Happy
gonna go.
birthday,
Happy
Kay.
birthday.
Is it her birthday?
No, it's not.
Oh, I was like,
You
oh
did
man.
it! Yay!
Somebody-
Another
She walks in.
year.
It's like surprise. Happy when she walks in.
Yeah, that would be. Oh, that'd be funny. We're gonna do it.
She's not coming
Not
yet.
ready.
Oh, when's she gonna be here?
5 minutes.
Oh, tell her to.
Anyways, so what's
Just
happening
say,
in current
just say,
news?
hey, let us know when you're about to walk in because we're
News
busy.
segment. Here we go.
Current
A
news.
new one. Come on, bro.
Man, really?
Nope.
Let's see which one fits.
Yeah, none of them
You guys
fit.
have to upload something.
Yep.
Current news.
Cut that and sort of.
What's happening currently?
Current news.
How about we talk about the fact that Brittany Griner got released from jail
Yep.
and
An American
two
hero.
other, was it 6 people were at her homecoming?
That was
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a church
Was it
that
20?
there was a church that did a homecoming party for Brittany Griner, and 20 people showed up.
Roof.
And they and then of course obviously when something like that happens, then the news outlets try to pin it on something arbitrary.
some ridiculous reason. as to why
Yeah,
it
so
wasn't-
I think the first news article I read, it was like, because they're racist.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, there's.
It was
For
like,
sure.
or maybe it's because it was in a college town and everybody went home for Christmas. Maybe
Yeah.
that had something to do with it. But
We didn't talk about this before, right?
we talked. I don't think we talked about her
in the
getting out.
WhatsApp.
Oh, we talked about it in our
Alright.
group chat. But
That was the dumbest trade
This was the first
of
time
all time.
somebody cared about a WNBA trade.
Yeah, that was his first WNBA trade. Anybody?
Dude, I had the,
Can we talk about who we traded for this moron?
His cool name, like the hardest name you've ever heard.
Yeah, he sounds like
Was like the Merchant of Death.
I'd read a book about this man.
He literally,
Did you?
He is
I
one. He's
would.
like he's the most feared arms dealer in like the whole world, and we're like, hey,
They made a movie about him.
Yeah.
Do you know
like,
what's
that's how
more-
crazy he
they
is.
did.
Do you know what's more fearsome? Racism.
yeah. So
You eat a Twix.
take that.
Let's take that.
I mean, like, look, I'm just saying, like, there's a reason
All right, listen
that
to
right
this,
now
listen to
we're
this,
the laughing
fellas.
stock of the world.
Split at the men get. What's the headline? It says WNBA players wants the same rev split at the men get. What's the headline?
It says we're not asking to get
Fleckus?
paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
Okay, which seems fair. We did a little bit of research on this. There's 12 players on a team. There's 12 total teams, so 144 total players. The WNBA league loses $12 million a year. So if you divide 12 million by the 144 players, each player owes $83,000.
Thanks for playing.
So if you guys want the same rev share, you're going to have to write a check for pretty much all the money you made and all your endorsements and everything. You guys owe about $100,000 each.
You're in the negative. It's
crazy.
not good. It's not viable. And we've had 20 years of this, basically. So we know profit is not on the horizon.
It's called bad business.
Yeah, it's called waste of time, waste of money, right?
It's called basically a charity. The WNBA players.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
Dude, what in the world are we doing? No wonder America's bankrupt.
Well, it's funny because, like, okay, so you have
Who
like
pays for that?
you have legitimate women's sports that are
professional teams.
that are successful.
I know that.
Like
but
I'm talking like
whoever
NBA
I guess
teams
whoever
pay for
owns whoever owns the
franchise?
team ends up
The-
paying that
the
out of
state-
pocket.
the
Because
city?
they play in the regular stadium.
You
They don't play
have-
in their own stadiums.
Yeah, I mean
They
the
don't have-
owner of the team, I would imagine, is the person who probably ends up paying majority of that money.
That's what. That's
So what
not-
you're
They're
saying
literally
is bad
keeping
investment
alive.
is a WNBA team.
They're keeping
I heard
it alive
I heard a
to
guy
show
say
there's
that
fairness.
the WNBA played throughout the pandemic and not one person got COVID.
True.
I'm so glad I found that. I saved it.
I like
That's a keeper
Fleckus.
right there.
Fleckus does super funny videos.
Is that what he is? I didn't
Yeah.
know who he was.
He's super funny on. He goes on YouTube and stuff. He goes through different marches and stuff. And
Yeah, I saved
interviews
this one for the
random people.
podcast too. Here we go. This is funny.
Schedule that we've used for the last 2 or 3,000.
What did
We're going to go with the same
It's a deer
schedule that we've
and, like,
used for the
mannequin.
last 2 or 3,000 years. Mornings and evenings. Does and does with fawns come out first, followed by young bucks. And please, all of you, quit looking back in the woods at other deer coming out. You're costing us valuable position with that. You're giving us away.
Is that
Just
Jeff
sit there and
Foxworthy?
eat. Don't be looking back in the woods every time you hear somebody else coming out. All right, last, we want the big bucks staging in the edge of the woods. Do not come out till dark. I know I say this every year. Dark means dark. A lot of you want to come out early, your stomach start rumbling, you end up riding in a pickup truck when you do that, people. In the mornings last year, we had a lot of you lingering too long in the fields. Get back in the beds. In fact, it cost us our leader, Buck Sr., who was Coach Buck. I'd like for you to say a few words about him. But first, I would like to take a quick moment of silence for all the deer.
It's great as a hunter.
That's pretty funny.
It's great.
All right, so back to this worthless piece of trash.
Yeah, the only reason I played that was because it was connected with the one that I saved.
that was hilarious.
Reiner was connected to the WNBA thing I
yeah.
just played.
There are actual women's sports that do pretty good, like professional softball. They actually make money. Volleyball, they actually make money. Tennis actually make money. But the problem is, women apparently
Give me a
are
sec.
not.
Continue.
You might
Actual
want to turn that
jobs.
down while you're.
Well, that or,
Actual jobs.
yes, like they don't want to like. Oh, well, that's just part of the stereotype. I don't want to break. Okay, break the stereotype. No one wants that. No one on the planet does.
Right.
It's like, but you know why? Okay, like I understand that, like, you know, stereotypes. You know, you can have whatever opinion you want on them, but stereotypes exist for a reason. Usually, they're based on fact. That's why they become a stereotype. So, like, women are, you know, the stereotype is that, you know, that they're going to play a sport. It's going to be like volleyball or softball because that's what women do. Men aren't going to do that. That's stupid.
I gotta be
Don't you guys play softball?
church softball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys
No,
are.
no, 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 no,
I just
I
pick
meant-
fights
general.
after the game.
I'm just there. It's like a hockey game. I'm just there for the fights.
Yeah.
I went to a fight in a hockey game, broke out.
I meant like professionally. I mean like because like okay,
All right,
slow,
here comes
slow
the
pitch
tap.
softball. Wait,
Happy.
no, not yet. Hold on. Where'd she go?
Just let the dogs in.
Kayla.
She turned around and said, "All right, Cam's got the
She's like,
dogs.
all
I'm
right.
out of here."
Going back.
She went back to jail.
So we're here at Cam's abode, and there's no dogs, as mentioned in the last episode. And Cam is here, and his wife is on her way, and just opened the door, let the dogs in, and left.
Maybe at this point,
So
I don't
pray
know
for them as they're going through this rough, rocky road. You know,
Where's your wife?
It's Cam's week with the dogs.
Yeah. So it's Cam. Cam has they rotate every other week.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even see her drop the dogs off. I'm
Yeah.
under the impression they drove back from
Yeah.
Jersey.
I'm surprised Cam has custody still. Honestly.
All right, wait.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kayla. Cha, cha, cha. Happy birthday to you.
Everybody send in your birthday wishes to Kayla.
We're glad you guys reconciled.
Email them in.
She made it a whole another year and still pregnant.
Man, that's crazy. As really, Casey's really taking his time to come out.
Yeah.
One of these days.
People are gonna look back on this and be like, "Hey, happy birthday!" Like,
That's
what?
Cam
Make
is-
sure you send your emails in now.
We had everything set up and Cam's moving it now.
We're just trying to get you extra birthday gifts. You're welcome.
That's it. So if you really want to make Kayla's birthday special, make sure you subscribe for $4.99 a month.
Yep, and buy those dang shirts.
And buy t-shirts. That's all Kayla wants.
Buy them
And
all.
Casey, he's not
She has
born
a
yet.
box of shirts. She's like, great. Now I have all these shirts along with all my baby stuff, and we're
Yeah.
never going to sell all these
Casey's
shirts.
not born, but I'm sure his first words would be subscribe.
It's fine. Cam's gonna every night is gonna look at him like,
It's like,
calm down, it's subscribe. Calm down, it's fine.
they're like chocolate and peanut butter. No, they're not rum. Those are the other ones. You mean my mum? I mean, yeah, my OG girl. She's been in my life for a while.
She's been. She's the first woman to ever kiss me. And the last.
Is Harry's grandmother is the first woman to
had a
ever
good-
kiss you?
Yeah. We go way back.
Man,
I'm done. I'm done. I'm
Oh,
done.
this took a turn.
I'm done.
what a interesting 2 minutes it's been.
All right, timestamp
Hey,
that.
let's do.
Cam, we're really glad you and Kay are back together. The listeners were praying.
I don't even like joking
Yeah.
about this. It makes me sad, so I'm just gonna blow through it.
What?
I thought there's only 2 dogs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for some
What
reason
makes
I
you
thought I
sad?
saw.
Joking about you guys like not
Being
I just-
separated?
Yeah, I don't like that.
She went to Jersey to get the dogs.
I know, but
She's
he's
back
saying
now.
I know, but they're making jokes that like she
Aw.
left you, now she came back.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't want
It's
to.
okay, because that's just too close to home for you
Dude,
right now, right?
Don't
If you
shut
haven't locked
your-
yours down.
Shut your yap. All right.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, what are we talking about?
Let's get into
Brittany
our
Reimer and the
topic. Here we
Merchant of
go.
Death.
You guys have seen it, and here it is.
Maybe you saw it. Maybe I'd put whatever I
We
want
said
for
that
the
about
title.
last
Maybe I
episode.
went on and
We said about last episode. You know what we didn't deal with? The
What?
theme
Yeah, the topic.
at all. Remember the sticky note that I said episode this, and this was the theme. We didn't do either of those.
we're gonna have two different headers because David's gonna put one thing and I'm gonna put the other on all the podcast forums.
It's a game.
What
Yeah.
we should do, I'm going to start doing is no matter what the topic is, I'm going to come up with my own preconceived topic. I'm just going to talk about that
Yeah.
no matter
We
what.
need a
Trying to get it right in the
Sorry.
we need
yeah.
a spinning wheel of rabbit trails and just go.
We have him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that? That was our Christmas present from David.
Oh
Pisa Apaya or whatever.
A Pete's.
yeah, I don't
From
know who
his,
threw that on
his
the ground.
brother-in-law.
Disrespectful.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about technology.
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 We have an iPad sitting here.
All of our users are currently using technology.
We're talking about
No, they're not.
talk about merch I have on my notes. We're talking about freeform, stuff like that. But guys, here's the thing. I was driving down the road, and this is how this topic came to be birthed a few seconds before I texted to you guys.
Was born.
About
Which was
5 minutes
while
ago.
we were on our way here.
No, but think about this. I'm sitting there last night watching television,
Okay.
and I'm thinking about me having to, and the Nate Bargatze bit came to me, but think about how this actually works. We can take that camera, press on, and it shows a complete picture of you on a screen.
Sorry.
How is it doing? Like, how are we watching live television? Whatever's happening in New York, we can watch right now exactly what's happening. I can't even begin to understand
It's magic.
Smarter men
how
than
it
me.
happens.
The Wiccans.
You know what I mean? Like pixels,
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch. They're copying it all and then taking it and sending it.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Well, all of it's
That's
really
right.
done through voodoo, which is a Haitian.
That's why I said it's the Wiccans.
As Aaron Black would say, it's all a lie.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
so
believe in
interesting.
technology.
I think it's stuff's really neat because like it at the absolute core.
Hey, your microphone needs to be talking right into it, not
All
to the
right.
side. So,
So
lower it. If
I
you're
think
gonna,
it's really neat that like at the absolute core of these things, it's really just a
I
simple
don't like that.
process.
Dude, you were right. You really do lick the mic every time.
I do
Every episode.
talk clear.
Okay. I think that it's really neat because at the core of all of this technology, it's really just a matter of sending power to different like gates or whatever. It's like it's a really simple process, but it's a simple process. It's repeated like 100,000 times by it's great. Like I remember like when I took digital electronics in high school, we had to make like this like it's called like the birthday project, and if anyone does like the I'm sorry, I'm wicked. I went to public school. Anyway, but
You're wicked.
I'm wicked.
Dummy.
Did you
Anyway,
make one for Kayla's birthday?
but like you have this breadboard, which is like a reusable or like a practice or like trial like compute board or whatever, or like like a board that you have like different stuff on, and then like so you had to put like all these like NAND gates, NOR gates, and or like all these like that
Yeah.
so stuff like that, and then you have like your LCD display and all that stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Am I just being
No, I vaguely know what
Okay.
you're talking
I mean,
about.
Well, yeah,
I had a game as a kid where I pressed a button and I turned the light bulb on. That was pretty cool.
Wait, so
But-
are any of you guys like tech heads?
No,
No?
at all.
I'm
like my iPhone.
interested. I like gadgets. I think like things are neat.
I like technology.
I'm not
like
techie
gadgets.
at all.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm techie or not. Because I thought about that. Like if I would consider myself to be,
Well,
I
you're going to
probably
be an electrician, so you would probably be on the
Yeah.
like.
You're the most promising about of the four of us, among the four of us.
Well, that's good.
I don't know. David's techie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
David's not
technology.
like-
I just I
not like
love
computery,
things.
but-
I bought a bug scanner for like hidden cameras.
I got an
like,
assault gun for Christmas.
Oh,
you got a salt gun for Christmas?
Yes.
Those things are so cool.
We're gonna have to play with that before we leave.
It hurts. Dude.
Look at this.
Yeah, we're
you
gonna
get
have to
the
play with that
grains of.
before we leave.
I don't know
Let's
what
actually
to
shoot.
We lost him.
No, apparently Dustin didn't get a new wallet for Christmas.
This is
What
Okay.
is it?
Is for picking up hidden
got a wallet.
microphones, cameras, stuff like. You
Oh,
go to
yeah,
a
yeah, it's
hotel
a
room
bug
if
detector.
it's bugged. Yeah, so you turn it on.
See if it picks up this microphone.
Oh, it's bugged. Cam's
house is bugged.
Cam's dining room table's bugged.
Cam, the government's listening.
It's in the possum. It's in the possum.
I don't know.
Put a piece of tape over the camera on his iPad.
How's it work? Stud finder.
No, put it back in the microphone.
Stud finder. What an idiot.
You're so stupid. Or I don't know how. I'm still figuring out how it works. You have to.
You like a
When I put it on myself, just say.
Cam is a wire.
No, look,
Cam is a wire.
Cam,
You have a
hey,
wire.
listen, Cam's here. The FBI planted
Yeah.
Cam.
Not on you.
Oh, in the air. Sorry. Nothing.
Not on Harry.
Nothing.
Dude, there's something in the light.
Something in the lights.
There's something in the light.
We're
What
being
are you
watched.
doing? to
Not
us.
on Harris, Dustin.
Like, I love how it starts after he pulls it off. Dude, it's in the light, bro. Dude, you have bugs in your
You
light.
have different, and they're like you have IR,
Instant reality.
That's interesting.
infrared.
Is this a thing that you're genuinely concerned about when you go to hotel rooms?
Yes.
How often do you go to hotel rooms?
Bro,
Every once in a while.
he's like, I go to hotel rooms, make
thought
sure
you were
there's
homeless.
nothing in it, And then I go sit down and turn on my iPhone and scroll and say hi to the government staring through the peephole.
The tracker that's in my pocket.
This is like a real thing. Have you ever heard the movie? Like it's like 33 cameras or whatever, and the movie it's based on like real stuff that's happened, or like a plumber or whatever goes into this woman's house to fix stuff, and then the whole time he's there, he's like putting like cameras like hidey holes and stuff. And he films her whole lot. It sells it in the black market.
I always tell people I'm not interesting enough for people to spy on me.
They'd be like, "Oh,
anyway." I thought it was neat.
Yes. So technology in the last
don't have anything to hide in your house. How about that?
The last 100 years, and it really has been the last 100 years, because the 1920s is when it really. Well, we had the last 105, 110 years.
The industrial period.
The industrial revolution was nuts, but the industrial revolution started in like 1850s.
Yeah,
that was before OSHA.
But no, I guess the industrial revolution would be categorized as the early 1900s.
It would. But I know it started.
Didn't it start with the cotton gin?
Yeah. Well,
yes.
That helped bring it about. It was the like textile mills. Like once we realized that we could use water as a power source, stuff. Then that was a total game changer.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're.
It's really funny though that you say it's like within the last 100 years or so, because like the Bible talks about how like increased knowledge.
The three main here goes with each of these advancements: the steam engine, the age of science and mass production, and the rise of digital technology. Which one are we in? We have lived through an industrial revolution. Isn't that crazy? Like you wouldn't realize it, but the last 20 years. It's called the technology revolution.
Right.
But you had the beginning, the steam engines, the age of science and mass production. Science would be we went to the moon. Or we didn't. Yeah. Or we went to a bathtub.
We went to the Hollywood studio.
So technically, the Industrial Revolution, which I didn't, the period from around 1760 to about 1820 to 1840. I learned...
That's the Industrial Revolution?
No.
America?
That's way too early. This is what this says, but I remember in school it was like the 1860s.
It would be
like,
because railroads.
It started like probably like I think like 1840, 1850, because it started before the Civil War, because by then that's we had interchangeable parts. We had
the Civil War. You had the
Civil War. At that point, you had
the railroads.
You had
railroads. You had
the
telegram.
Sherman.
Let's try not to interrupt.
Yep.
Because you had railroads. Because you had Sherman going through the South, ripping up all the tracks.
You had steamboats, ironclads. You had Gatling guns.
I can't work under these conditions.
You had cameras, because we have pictures of Honest Abe and old soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
You had cotton gins. You had
young ones.
Yeah,
and Cotton Eye Joe.
But dude, everything took off. Like, think about this. There was a group of there was hundreds and hundreds of these people that lived.
The Illuminati.
Mm-hmm. They lived and fought during the Civil War, 1860. Mm-hmm. And they lived
good year.
all the way to 1950.
Yep.
They saw cannons and
horses and cavalry.
Cannons, horses and cavalry, and muskets.
Right.
Literally to the A-bomb, airplanes, machine guns, the World War II.
They saw...
Like, can you imagine being in that window of I fought, like, when I was a boy.
Back in my day,
we had one shot at our musket. And then to...
My great grandfather
airplanes and A-bombs.
I mean, maybe not like
can you
an
imagine
8-year-old guy onto like.
Can you imagine all these Southerners thinking, if we had an A-bomb?
My great grandfather was born in 1904.
I mean, Custer probably thought
and
that
he
too.
lived till 2005.
Oh my goodness, what a time, dude!
Yeah. So my
like everything. He's just boom, 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 boom.
Like today,
from
I was
the birth
visiting
of the
my
automobile
granddad.
to the birth of the smartphone,
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Like today, I was visiting my granddad. Before I got
Both have wheels.
all the Christmas stuff. Like he remembers when World War II ended, and like in town, like the fire truck came through, and I couldn't imagine like from World War II to today. It's crazy.
But even more like Civil War and World War II.
Well,
imagine having those.
Though,
I know. Imagine having those under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you went through the Civil War. You went through.
Imagine the guys in the Bible,
the
though.
Spanish and American War. You went through the wild, stinking West, cowboys and Indians.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about that.
And then back at that, you had from 1776, you had that era. Those people lived until some of those people lived up into the early 1900s.
The thing about all that is during that time though, I would say very few people would probably realize the impact that these things were going to have on society. You know, like we could be very well be sitting here and see something get invented and we're kind of like, whatever. Yeah. And then like 60 years from now, people are going to be like, God, can you remember in 2022 or 23 or whatever year we're in right now? Like that thing was invented and it changed everything. And we might not realize
like
the thing.
I don't know they realized what would come out of it.
I don't think they'd be too shocked about that.
200 years of hard work produced.
We've come a long way in America.
Possum. We did it, boys. We mobilized the possum.
We put wheels on a possum.
That's amazing.
No, but
God bless America.
The huge jump, it's a staggering jump from horses to cars.
Yeah.
From like I imagine if I was back then,
it is a staggering
going from a single shot gun to like, oh, we have revolvers now. That's pretty cool. Like that's a significant thing. We have a Gatling gun.
But what I'm saying
that's amazing.
In that time, like you said, horses to cars is a huge jump.
Yeah.
And looking back on that, we see what that huge jump is. When the car was first started coming out and all that other stuff, I would venture to guess that majority of the people saw the car and they went, "That's impractical. We have horses. We're like, when are we going to get?"
It's
not
like electric
knowing
vehicles right now.
Yeah, not knowing that in the future people are going to be like a horses is going to be like a thing that only rich people own. You know what I mean? Like
Amish.
Yeah, like which they might be rich. I don't know.
Pretty much
They
all.
might be. They don't have to pay gas.
Yeah.
So
no taxes.
Well,
from literally almost 5,000 and 800 whatever years it's been, like pretty much everything was the same.
Right.
Wheels. Right,
which let's give them credit. It was a pretty big deal.
Whoever made the wheel though,
let's give him credit.
He's doing pretty good right now.
Really hero.
He's raking in the world.
If only
every wheel. It says
every wheel saw.
It's got a patent on it.
Could you imagine?
His name coincidentally is Wheel.
Well, that's like the thing about the guy. Did you know that every company that sells eyeglasses, sunglasses, eyeglasses, the whole thing is patented, and it's all, no matter what company you buy it from, it's under the umbrella of one person, like one company.
That was a good invention.
Like he invented glasses and then he patented it, and now if you get Ray-Bans or if you get Oakleys,
does it go to his kids? I'm assuming
if you follow it all the way back, it goes to his family.
Let me look at this.
I wonder. Yeah,
it's all under like one company. Every pair of eyeglasses.
I don't know who invented the eyeglass, but Ben Franklin invented bifocals. So I don't know if that would have meant like he.
But he would have to use the patent of the design of what eyeglasses are. Oh. Yeah, it's one company that owns like all eyeglasses, which is like a crazy thing.
Yeah. Well.
Watch me be like horrifically wrong.
Who owns the patent on glasses frames? Is that a...
Yeah.
I guess it would be a...
Just saying, like when the automobile came out, these other people are trying to make, like Henry Ford. That
the
was
idea for a pair of glasses with a full interface system integrated was invented by Mark B. Spitzer and filed for patent in 1998. That's not right.
1998.
That's
Everybody's
like a... Oh, everyone's just walking around like moles before that.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like, I was actually thinking about this recently. Like, who was the first person to realize that if you put curved glass in front of your eye, you could see?
Yeah.
Who invented eyeglasses?
Well, who did the telescope?
Salvino de Mariotti. Eyeglasses were said to have been created by Salvino de Mariotti in Italy during the 13th century. I don't think he has a patent on that, bud.
I think the telescopes are around there.
Loud breath.
Yeah, there's a company. Let me.
Well, we'll look up some stuff.
All right, anyways, so for 5,800 years, everything was the same.
Yep.
everyone was carrying swords, bow and arrow.
Yep.
Like that's how you did it. And then all of a sudden, we have these high power guns and we have tanks. Think about a tank. Like trying to understand. I'm a Civil War veteran, and now in the early 1900s, World War I is occurring, and I'm still pretty young. I'm in my early 60s.
Yep.
70s, and I'm watching tanks. Like, what is the jump from 1860 to 2023? I mean, it's crazy. But the thing is, it's sort of capped. It sort of went from 1900, or let's say 1860, 1870, 1880, really to 1950. Like cars, airplanes, rockets, machine guns, nukes. Well, you know, bicycle, all this stuff is here.
I mean, we had mastered travel.
Yeah, and then you have what we have now, which is called the technological revolution.
Yep.
You have what's created, the internet.
Yeah. Or
cell phones, smartwatches.
There's a computer on my wrist.
You'll have, I'm sure you'll have glasses, smart glasses.
They
here
have,
soon.
yeah, that's
they do have
those are things. They
So-
actually, that came out, and then everybody was like, "This is creepy. We don't want it," and they got rid of it, and now they're bringing them out again.
Yeah.
But anyway, just for clarification, Luxottica, is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, Luxottica.
Luxottica owns and has a monopoly over 80% of all manufacturers' distributions. So, it was Luxottica owns 80% of every pair of glasses that's ever sold.
Yeah,
so I was
that's
off
cool. Yeah,
from
you
what I
were
was saying.
So think about
in the same game.
Scheme.
You were correct.
think about
Good answer, good
electricity. Electricity. Who figures that out?
Me.
See, I'm serious. Like electricity, light bulbs. How does
Right. Well,
I know how it works, but
Yeah.
how do you Thomas Edison? Right.
But what's
How
even
many-
crazier about that
actually,
is that light
no.
bulbs are designed to break.
Yeah.
So Thomas Edison's light bulb would, if you were to like put power to it, it would still turn on. But companies realize that if they just sold light bulbs that would last forever, they're not going to make any money. So they make light bulbs that will break over time. So they
Right.
yeah. So they purposefully made light bulbs worse than what they were originally were,
That's a good fact
so
to know.
that you could keep buying light
Wow.
bulbs
It's a scheme.
Well, and then
I thought they just burn out. Like the sun is going too soon.
by design.
well, Nikola Tesla. We owe a lot to Thomas Edison, but we actually, really, we owe more to Nikola Tesla.
Didn't Edison steal his ideas?
Yeah, he tried. Tesla used to work for Edison, but
Now they have
Tesla
electric
was
cars.
trying to. Yes. But
Take
Turn
that,
your
Edison.
mics down.
sorry,
there you go.
Tesla was trying to. He wanted to push alternating current electricity because you can transmit farther, and it's more sustainable than direct current, which is like DC, like your car. That's it runs on DC electricity. Because with DC,
I have no idea.
with DC, you'd have to have a power station. Like in Harrington, you'd have to have like two dedicated
Whereas-
power stations, and you have to have one every like couple miles or so
right.
to get it to sustain. Whereas Tesla was like, look, we can harness the like alternating current because it's less predictable and it's more dangerous than direct current is. Like you can't kill yourself from direct current. Like you'd have to really try. With alternating current, it can totally happen. But Edison was like, no, we're not going to do, like typical, no, not in my day. But then so Tesla started working for himself. JP Morgan saw that he had potential and invested in him. And then Tesla came out with he pushed alternating current and sold everyone on it. And Edison was so mad. There was this constant war between the two after that, where of them constantly trying to fight each other, put each other
Tesla
down.
was not American, was he?
He was born in Austria.
Let's forget about him. Edison, that guy.
Those Edison cars are crazy.
Those Edison cars.
Speaking of electric cars and technology, I was up in Connecticut for Christmas time, and both of my brother-in-laws have electric vehicles. So the oldest, he lives in Georgia. He's got a Tesla, and I think he has a spot to get a Cybertruck when those come out.
Yeah.
So he's all in on Tesla. But then up in Connecticut, my other brother-in-law, Danny, gave me a ride in his Rivian pickup truck.
Yep,
Yeah.
those things
And
are new.
as a guy who generally doesn't particularly care about trucks, I fell in love with this thing. It is so cool. Like
It looks cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
It's a cool
cool.
looking
Yeah.
car.
I saw one driving through from Rehoboth, and I was like, we were on the same side of the highway, so
Well,
I could
who
continually
makes
watch
that?
it. It's their
Rivian is a brand new.
They're their own
Yeah.
company.
They're
I thought
trying
like
to.
I thought they ran out of business for some
Nope.
reason.
Yeah, they're trying
There it
to.
is. The
yeah.
Rivian truck is sweet, dude. Is
It's
that what his
so-
looks like?
Yeah, he's got his is green. So the front trunk.
It's all electric.
Yep.
So the front trunk, because it obviously doesn't have
There's no
like
motor,
a
yeah.
motor. So the front trunk, you can fill up with ice and like put your drinks and stuff in there for like a barbecue. And then at the end, like you could just drain it out of the bottom
That's
of the truck.
amazing.
Let me ask you, what is the F-150, F-250? What is this, like a F-150, or is it like going to be like a Tacoma?
Size wise,
I mean, like
so
what is its tow rating? Like,
it's probably closer
or
to
you could
like
probably, if you look it up, it could probably
Like a
give you the
Tacoma or
details
like
on
it
it.
would be more like a
RT1.
Tacoma or a Ranger, I imagine.
It goes 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but what about when a trailer is?
When a trailer's on, well, who's
tow capacity up to 11,000.
yeah.
That's a
Here's
That's like a
high.
Dustin squat.
That's
Let-
high tow rating.
Here's
That's like a
here's the
Dustin
deal. Everyone there's people that are complaining about electric cars, and I totally understand. I think that
Look at that. Look,
electric
scroll back up.
motors have more torque
So cool.
per square inch than your traditional gas or diesel engine do.
What is this?
Electric motors, they have significant,
Yeah.
and it's instant and continuous torque. It's like instantaneous. You turn power on, now boom, torque. Whereas like a gas or diesel, it takes a minute. Not really. I mean, it takes.
Well, it's
more
combustion.
Time.
Like
Yes.
it takes time.
It
So
takes, whereas
Yeah, these
electricity
guys
is
aren't
instantaneous.
made. It's not even that expensive.
no, that's just
The-
as much as
these
a new
70,000. That's
GMC.
ministry change right there.
But these aren't. You're not going to tow.
Make it calm down.
No,
It's
no, no.
fine. Rivian truck.
You're not going to tow with this.
No, your best.
Well, you also figure this is their first.
Yeah,
outing.
yeah. This isn't made to like the F-150 Lightning. came
Yeah.
out. That like the F-150 Lightning's all electric. I think it starts at 50,
Mhm.
and it's supposed to be.
I don't have a problem with electric vehicles. I think that like you shouldn't ban or outlaw like gas car.
No,
gas cars,
obviously
whatever.
not. No.
I think that's ridiculous.
Do you
And
think
also,
we'll get to there, to where
I-
they're not?
California said they're doing what 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I'm worried about it because.
but then
like,
they're also not allowed to use electricity. So what?
Well, it's like there's all. If you have to define your terms and understand the reason why you're doing it. If you are doing it because you think that like electric is safer or like better for the environment, you're an idiot and you're eating dog crap
Starting
every
at
day for
55.
breakfast. Because have you ever seen a lithium ion battery mine? You're talking about taking out a square mile of earth, and it can literally be nothing else ever again. Whereas if you just have a
Rivian had
pipeline,
11.
it's buried under the ground. You never see it. You can do whatever you want. Your life continues. You're not destroying the environment.
It says F-150 has
Like everyone wants you to think.
7.7, 7,700
Yeah.
tow
If-
rating.
If you want electric vehicles for efficiency and you're engineering them for that, that's totally different. But if you're doing it as like some tutti frutti hippie thing, you're not going to accomplish anything. You're going to have a crappy.
Do you think
My,
they're going to come out with these electric vehicles that can pull loads every day?
time.
Yes. Oh
In
yeah,
time.
absolutely. Because electric motors have more torque.
They just have to get them to that. What's hindering them from getting to that point?
Size and then the amount of batteries it would take to sustain.
Yeah,
that.
you know how heavy the battery is. To
I'm
put you out
not.
and put
I
one
am
on this truck?
100%. Every power. This is the whole age-old thing.
Yeah.
When I started doing construction as a kid, 12 years old, I'm 27.
Mm-hmm.
Through my teen years, it was always we would make fun of battery-powered tools.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, battery power, whatever. If you're gonna get something done, you're gonna hook up a cord. That's where
Yeah.
your power is gonna come from.
Right.
It has changed the last 10 years to where I literally almost make fun of people who have cords.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even joking. Like,
Yeah.
like they've got cords.
I don't
Oh my goodness!
I don't have corded anything.
Like it's all battery. It's all battery. Everything's
at the end of the
battery.
day.
And the batteries keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They have chop saws and table saws. They
Yeah.
have 4 batteries the
Right.
size of this sign.
Now, the cool
Milwaukee came out with a jackhammer now, and it takes the new.
What?
Yeah, I'm not
No,
kidding.
dude,
It's
you can do
battery-powered
anything.
jackhammer.
Does
Yeah.
it work?
They've got
Yes,
lawnmowers.
yes.
Straight up
I know they have lawnmowers.
They
I
came
know,
out
but
with
why-
new batteries called the MX battery. They're $400 a piece, but they're this big.
Yeah.
Right.
And you slap 2 of these things on the jackhammer, and it'll last like all day. They have a generator or a power distributor for the like. Literally, it's a job site generator. You put like 2 or 3 of those things on there, and you have enough. You have power all day to run whatever equipment you want. They have they have concrete saws. You know, like steel makes them, the big gas cutters.
Oh, yeah.
They're battery.
You cut the lines in their concrete.
One of the cool things that my brother-in-law said that his truck has a like a software update coming, and they're gonna put a tank mode on his truck because each wheel has its own like motor on it.
Yeah, right.
So they're gonna put a tank mode on the truck. We're gonna use Jimmy here as a reference.
So you can
so like if he's sitting here like this, he can literally just rotate his truck because it's gonna each wheel's gonna be able to individually turn the way they need.
No, it's fine.
But I always thought Teslas were pretty cool.
So Travis has a Tesla. He's got a really whatever it is.
Brag about it.
He's got. That's my brother-in-law. You're talking about your brother-in-law.
Yeah,
both of your brother-in-laws have it. But his self-driving, like he drove all the way to South Carolina, didn't touch the wheel. I get in it, completely
crashed it
in town highway, fully self-driving.
Right.
And it feels so weird.
That's the one.
He gets in it on the screen. It has all the foot traffic, all the traffic, all the car stops, everything on the screen. It's just already tracked it all out.
That's the one thing that Tesla is beating the other electric companies in is self-driving. But the other companies are, because I think Elon said that he's pretty open with sharing how that works. Because he wants to see it progress. So Rivian and the other companies aren't very far behind when it comes to the self-driving stuff, which I would absolutely love. Because
what's great about people like Elon and Tesla, they're really it's the same dynamic, and that's why they're so wildly successful. Nikola Tesla didn't care so much about making money. He was an industrialist. He just wanted to invent things and create things and then make life better and easier. Elon's the same. Elon's
Elon's also the richest man in the world.
Yes, but but it's because of his mentality. His mentality is like, I'm not going to go out here and make money. I'm going to make things better.
Right.
Elon created PayPal.
Yeah,
and he created the first online. When the internet hit in 2001 or whatever, Elon was the first one to develop, run, and then eventually sell for millions his first publishing company online. Everyone thought people want to hold something in their hands. They're not this internet stuff, articles are never going to ever take off. And Elon's like, oh, well.
Yeah, watch this.
So then he did PayPal, e-market, e-commerce type stuff, and he created the first publishing whatever it was, and I think New York Times bought it.
Right.
And they started doing whatever they conformed to there and made it New York Times or whatever.
Right.
But they bought that format or whatever and started that. And he's just like, so it goes, here's what happens.
I mean, he sees the need.
What,
I
what
wouldn't
do you
even say
guys
the need,
think,
but the desire for people to have that.
Here's an interesting chart
convenience.
because I think their camera's about to die. So I want to get through this. Electricity, 1920s. Automobiles, 1920s. Radio, 1930s. Stove, 1930. Okay, so that's what came. That's how. So stoves in 1930. What? That's
Car
crazy.
came before the.
Would that be the electric stove, or because gas stove would have had to have been before that?
I'm sure gas, but maybe electric because electricity was 1920. 1940s refrigerator, telephone, 1942. Automobile, again the new souped up ones. Up to 60%. As the 1920s drew to a close, the trend reversed during the Great Depression and then World War II, during which Detroit's factories produced other kinds of vehicles, caused automobile penetration to slip below 50% for a brief time. Anyways, 1950s, nothing was really created. Washing machine was 1960. 1970s, the dryer, color TV, air conditioning. Where was TV? When did TV come out?
That would have been in the 20s or
films. You'd stop motion
no,
films.
30s.
It doesn't say anything for. I thought that was okay.
It's still
Like
images.
I'm thinking
1960.
it would have been like
1980. Microwave, VCR. 1990s dishwasher and computer.
Dishwasher, 1990?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild.
2000s cell phone. Cell phone, internet.
My mom.
This article was written in 2012. So 2000s was cell phone, internet. 2010 smartphones.
Yep.
Smartphones, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Internet, whatever. But now you have
the metaverse.
You have metaverse, virtual reality.
Yeah, I have an Oculus.
You have
or a Meta, whatever you call it.
But
now.
then you have this whole 2020s. I think will be the electric car because honestly I didn't think that was going to happen. How many times did someone say to you? It's probably like people in the cars in the Civil War. Like, hey, have you seen these automobile things? And like, ha ha ha, self-driving.
Yep.
Well, to be fair,
10 years ago, you
heard,
tell me self-driving. I'm like, pfft.
I mean,
but now our kids are
as
going
soon
to
as
say,
I heard
you
that a
used
car
to
would be
drive
driving
yourself.
itself. Yeah. As soon as I heard a car was going to drive itself, I was like, I'm in. Let's do it. I hate driving.
Yeah,
let's
but
go.
Here's what I always heard as an argument. Ain't nothing going to drive me around. I want to, it's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, dude, how horrendous are people's driving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Like,
the
people
first thing
are
that comes to mind.
horrible at driving and getting worse.
Yeah.
So if it's all mapped out and there's a computer and there's no stoplights anymore, it's just all these computers are linked together and you're driving in them. Now, I don't really like the government being able to take my car and drive me around,
No,
lock
that
me in my
sounds
car
terrible.
and be able to have control of everything that I like having control now.
Just drive me to
but I'm telling you,
abandoned
in,
alleyway and suffocate me inside.
in 20 years or so, dude, everything's going to be electric.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting in our cars and we're not going to be driving.
The problem is, so like all of these things are great,
and all the fat people like in Wall-E.
Yeah, and then you're going to be like they're going to be like, they're going to call you an old boomer. You still drive?
I see the benefits. I see the benefits and the drawbacks of.
There's always a pro and a con
of
when
a
it comes
technological advancement.
Yes,
Do we have enough lithium to produce these batteries? That's
why they got the mines.
Well, I mean,
the
we'd
mines
have,
over in.
we would have
I love
to.
there was a thing where
you have to recycle.
It was
like,
GM.
you can't just like dispose.
Someone
of
was
batteries.
they had a factory to produce these electric vehicles, and one of the guys was like a reporter who like does these gags, and he goes to the main person, "What's powering the factory that's making these electric vehicles?" And she would not. She was talking about how efficient all this stuff. He goes, "What are you using to fuel the factory?" And she goes, I think Duke Power or whatever it was. It's like, it's like, so until you can create these the same way these things are driving around, everything in this factory is being powered by the power plant or the fuel or whatever it was.
Do you understand? Like there's all of these other renewable
or coal. It was coal. That's what it was.
If we really want to make some progress as far as like, and this is how you know that the whole like renewable energy thing is a joke, because we already have the answer. It's nuclear energy, and how we do it in the United States is safe. Like, Japan, China, these other countries that try to do it, or Russia. Do you really think they have the same standards that we do?
Right.
No.
Well,
but
didn't we
have there's a power plant in Maryland somewhere, and like it's been going for who knows how long. Like if you maintain it, it's plausible and it's safe, and it's your best bet for creating renewable, sustainable energy. Sunlight, not going to work. Wind, not going to work.
Why wouldn't sunlight work? I think it was Elon. I watched a interview where he was saying there's so much open space in the Midwest that if they just started putting solar panels out there, like they could just power all of America.
The problem is,
the Nevada desert.
It's a great idea, and I think that it could work like 70 to maybe 80% of the time. But it's not always like you're going to have periods where like you're going to have random blackouts because it's been raining for 2 weeks at a time and there's no sun.
But in the middle of the desert?
Yeah, I mean,
like you just throw that out in Nevada?
Or like, I mean, I don't. But you would have to cover an insane amount.
We have an insane amount of space in the Midwest.
Just move clouds.
But on like.
Control
the school I went in North Carolina, they have the entire property surrounding the school, and we're talking like 10, 15, like 10, 12, whatever acres is covered in the solar panels. Mm-hmm. And I was like talking to when there was a big push when they put them up, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to use this to power 1/3 of the school." And I'm like, what? I mean, it takes a lot of energy.
In other words, you're saying it's only 1/3.
Yeah, it's only
like
power
all
of that
ugly
put up
things, and it's only 1/3.
It's one
How long ago was this though?
I mean, this was like 10 years ago. So I understand there's going to be advancements.
So do you think gas stations are going to go out of business?
No.
You think gas
not
will go
anytime
out?
soon?
Okay, 20 years. You think we'll have gas stations?
Lifetime.
20 years? Yeah, they'll still have gas stations. 20 years.
Yeah,
there's people still going to be driving their classic cars around.
Yeah. I understand, but even our gas stations now are getting flooded with electric car things.
Yeah.
You think it might just be like kerosene?
I really
you know how
know.
like you see kerosene at some gas stations? It's like up by the front.
Right.
You think it might be like that? Like you can obviously get gas at this station, but it's not.
No, but I don't know.
They're going to be called power
I
stations.
say that now, but then
you think they're going to be called power stations?
In 60 years, maybe it might be like that. But
I mean, we don't know.
I see right now.
Sooner, dude.
I don't think it'll be that. There's too many people, too many gearheads out there that want to roll coal. You know what I mean? There's too many people that want to drive.
You should be able to roll coal in those things.
Well, I mean, there's too many people that want to. There's too many people that want to. They want to drive their 69 Camaro down the road.
This is what I was getting to. So the era that we're in right now. Remember when your father, or your father,
his father,
or your father, or grandfather, or whatever, says, "I sold that car to get married, and I sold it for $200, and now it's worth $100,000 if I still had that thing." We're driving around, I believe, right now in cars that in 50 years we're gonna be like, "Oh, I had a classic gas guzzler."
I can't.
No doubt.
Can't believe I sold my 2011.
You used to have to pump your own gas, and
my
the
Honda
smell you'd
CRV
get,
could go
and
for
you'd hit-
$200,000.
I had an F350 2001. Oh
built a
my
car, Chad,
goodness!
and visit.
Manual.
Son, you know what my first car was? A 98 Corolla. You're right. I was
What's it called?
cool back in the day.
The Barrett
No way,
auction.
Dad.
The Barrett auction
Yeah.
is going to be like in this classic gas vehicle. Oh, remember
Classic
diesel?
Yeah.
2010 Honda Civic.
Yeah, it'll be that. It'll be that way.
2010
And we
Volkswagen
got
turbo
rid of them
diesel
to get these
Jetta.
electrics, and they're going to be vintage.
The only issue is I don't think our electric car. I don't know. You'd have to Google it. Are electric cars to the point where they last as long as like a Civic?
Oh yeah,
Or
10 years,
No.
like a.
or after 10 years, does the battery die and then you just have
Yeah,
to go
so that's
fork out
I know
You can
that's an
replace
issue
the
there.
batteries, but I know like Travis's Tesla is like you can get 10, 15 years out of it, no problem. Supposedly, the battery.
That's
Which, if you're going to drive
Has
any car,
Tesla
for
been
that
around
long-
for 10, 15 years?
Oh yeah, Tesla
company-
started in like 2005.
Yeah.
So the electric cars have been
They've
around.
been around, but they didn't take off. He was
They-
been around for a long time. Then it tanked.
What
Yeah.
I'm asking
And it
is,
was like-
is there a pool of experimentation where we know that 15 years, if I bought a Tesla
think-
tomorrow, 15 years from now,
They
that
have
car
the
is still good.
Energizer buttons in the factory.
They're making a lot of progress with that.
Yeah,
I
no,
still
they've been
think
around. Let me see.
that
Oldest Tesla, 2013. Let's see.
So that's not quite 15 years.
but back in
2012,
the 80s or 90s,
2009.
GMC maybe they came out with an all electric van. Now it had a range
so
of
they
like
had
50
yes,
miles.
they had
so
in
it wasn't
2008.
anything crazy.
They
but-
had the Tesla Roadster, and I remember because I listened to a documentary
Right.
of Tesla of
Which is their
him.
sports car.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So